Hey everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Speak Up, the podcast where we help you improve your English naturally through real conversations about real topics. If you're new here, a big welcome to you. We're so glad you've joined us, and if you've been listening for a while, thank you for being a part of our growing community. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you find this episode helpful, please share it with someone who's trying to improve their English too. It really helps us grow and reach more learners like you. Now, let me ask you something. What if I told you that the same apps we scroll for hours, like Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, are secretly killing your focus, your confidence, and even your peace of mind? The worst part? Most people don't even notice what's happening.
Yes, Ryan. That's exactly what we're diving into today. The topic is how social media is destroying youth minds. And trust me, it's not just about wasting time. There are deeper, more dangerous effects going on, and they're directly affecting how young people think, speak, and even feel about themselves. But here's the twist. Most of these effects are silent. You won't see them right away. They build up slowly, day by day, and before you know it, you're not the same person anymore. You can't focus, you can't sleep, and your self-worth depends on likes and comments. So stay with us because in just a few minutes, we're going to reveal the single most damaging thing social media does to your brain. And trust me, nobody is talking about it.
Let's start with something we all do without thinking: scrolling. You open your phone to check one message, and the next thing you know, it's been 45 minutes. Sound familiar? That's not an accident. These apps are designed to keep us hooked on the phone. The endless feed, the bright colors, the quick videos, they're all built to make you scroll more and more. But while it feels fun, it's slowly destroying our ability to focus. You try to study or listen to someone, but your mind just jumps around. You can't stay focused anymore.
Exactly, Ryan. And it's getting worse, especially for young people. Have you noticed how hard it is for some teenagers to sit still and pay attention, even for just a few minutes? That's because their brains are used to jumping from one thing to another every few seconds. It's not just bad for learning, it also affects conversations, thinking, and even memory. You try to read a book or watch a class and your mind feels tired in seconds. It's because your brain isn't used to focusing for long anymore. It feels mentally drained.
You're right, Priya. And short-form content, like those 10 or 15-second videos, makes this even worse. The brain starts craving quick rewards. It gets used to fast entertainment, and anything slower just feels boring. That's why a lot of people can't enjoy long videos or deep talks anymore. They just skip, scroll, or zone out. But here's the scary part. When we lose focus, we also lose control over how we think. And when we lose that, we start depending on the screen to keep us going.
And that's exactly where the trap is. You feel like scrolling helps you relax, but in reality, it makes your mind more tired. It's like your brain is running all day without a break. You don't feel fresh, you feel fuzzy. That's why people wake up already feeling tired, even when they've had sleep. It's not physical tiredness, it's mental exhaustion. And then we say, I don't know why I feel so lazy today. The answer is right there. It's your screen time.
It's crazy when you think about it. We used to sit and talk with each other or enjoy quiet time. Now, even 2 minutes without a phone feels uncomfortable. People check their phones at dinner, during study, even while talking to friends. The attention span is shrinking, and once you lose that, everything feels rushed. You try to learn something or practice English, but your mind jumps before you finish a sentence. That's how deep this trap really is.
Yes, Ryan. And I think it's important for all of us to notice these small signs. Like, do you feel restless when your phone is not around? Do you check it again and again without a reason? Do you feel bored quickly? These are signals. It means your brain is stuck in that attention loop. The first step is just to become aware of it. Once you see the trap, you can slowly start to break free.
So, we've understood how our focus is getting destroyed. Now let's talk about something that hits even deeper: how social media is messing with our self-worth. These days, people open their phones and instantly compare themselves to others. You see someone looking perfect, traveling, showing off success, and suddenly you feel like you're not doing enough. That feeling of not being good enough starts to creep in. Even if your day was going fine, one scroll can change your mood completely. It's like your mind says, look at them. They're better than you.
Yes, and that comparison doesn't stop. You're always comparing. You post a photo and then you wait. If it doesn't get enough likes or comments, you start doubting yourself. You wonder, did I look bad? Or why didn't people react? That constant need for validation is so unhealthy. You stop being yourself. You start performing for others. And when people only like the good version of you, it makes you scared to show your real self. That's when confidence begins to fade.
And you know what makes it worse? Most of what we see online is not even real. It's filtered, edited, carefully planned. But when we look at it, we think it's normal. So we keep pushing ourselves to look happier, more successful, more perfect, just like them. And when we can't match that, we start feeling left behind. That fake happiness on the screen makes real life feel boring. So now, people smile online, but feel empty inside.
That's so true. And many young people feel this pressure all the time. They feel like they're not enough just because their post didn't perform well. It's sad because real value doesn't come from social media. It comes from who you are, how you treat people, what you do offline. But instead, people keep chasing likes. They spend hours thinking about what to post, how to look, when to upload, all that energy, just to feel seen for a few seconds.
And slowly, that habit becomes a part of you. You stop doing things for yourself. You start doing them for your followers. You dress up not because you want to, but because you want to post it. You celebrate not to enjoy the moment, but to show it online. It changes how you think, how you speak, even how you live. And inside, you're always a little unsure, always a little uncomfortable, because you've built your confidence on what others think.
That's the real danger. When your self-worth depends on people you don't even know, you'll never feel truly happy. You'll always be chasing. You'll always be comparing. And that constant pressure can lead to stress, anxiety, and even depression. Social media was supposed to connect us, but for many, it's doing the opposite. It's breaking confidence and replacing it with doubt.
Let's be honest. How many times have we said just 5 more minutes while scrolling at night? But those 5 minutes turn into 1 hour, sometimes even more. That late-night scrolling becomes a habit, and before we know it, our sleep routine is completely messed up. The blue light from our screens keeps the brain active. Even when we close our eyes, our mind keeps running. That's why so many people feel tired even after sleeping. They're sleep-deprived without realizing it.
Exactly, and it's not just about being tired. Lack of proper sleep creates something called brain fog. You wake up and everything feels heavy. You forget things, your focus drops, and your thinking slows down. That affects how you speak too. If you're sleep-deprived, you struggle to find the right words. You pause more often, you get stuck in the middle of a sentence, and your fluency goes down. That's why improving English fluency is not just about practice. It's also about rest.
And the worst part is, this becomes normal. Young people are sleeping at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and calling it routine. But our brain needs deep sleep, especially if we want to remember new vocabulary or speak clearly. Without that, even the best daily English practice won't work. Your brain gets tired, your reactions slow down, and you lose the energy to learn. That's why nighttime addiction to social media is so damaging. It silently steals your ability to grow.
And the thing is, this doesn't just affect your speaking. It hits your confidence too. When your mind is tired, you feel more nervous. You second-guess yourself even with simple sentences. That's where the connection lies. Good sleep helps you think fast, speak naturally, and stay confident. But if you're staying up every night watching videos or checking notifications, that confidence slowly disappears. And you end up wondering why your English isn't improving when the answer is hidden in your sleep.
That's powerful, because once your sleep is broken, your whole day gets affected. You feel lazy in the morning, your concentration is low, and even reading or listening becomes harder. That's why we need to understand late-night scrolling may feel harmless, but it's actually the reason so many learners feel stuck. If you want to learn fast, think sharp, and speak better, sleep has to be your first priority. Otherwise, you'll keep practicing, but the results won't show.
And it's not just about the hours you sleep, it's about the quality. If you're checking your phone right before bed, your brain doesn't relax. That's why even 8 hours of sleep can feel useless. To truly reset your mind, you need to disconnect. Put your phone away at least 30 minutes before sleeping. Give your brain the silence it needs. That's how you build real focus, improve your fluency, and speak English with clarity. Not just during the day, but from a fully rested mind.
Let's talk about something we all know, but don't always admit. Most of what we see on social media is not real life. It's the best moments, the perfect angles, the happiest smiles. But behind the screen, it's different. People are living a fake life online, only showing the highlights. And when young people see that again and again, they start to feel like their own life isn't enough. Like they're behind in everything. Career, relationships, even confidence.
Yes, and that pressure builds up slowly. You start asking yourself, like, why am I not traveling like them? Or, why don't I speak that well in English? You forget that what you're seeing is edited, filtered, and carefully planned. It's not natural, but the problem is it feels real. So you start comparing. And when you compare, you feel smaller. You lose your confidence, and suddenly, even speaking up in a conversation feels scary.
And that's dangerous. Because if you believe everyone is doing better than you, you'll stop trusting yourself. You'll stop trying to grow. Social media creates this invisible race, and everyone's running. But nobody knows why. You might be improving your English naturally, day by day, but it won't feel enough. You'll feel left out, even if you're on the right track. That fake pressure messes with your motivation, your peace, and even your ability to speak confidently.
Right. It becomes hard to celebrate small wins. You might be practicing daily, learning new words, improving slowly, but because someone else sounds more fluent online, you feel behind. That's not fair. Everyone has their own journey. But social media hides that. It shows the result, not the effort. So the youth, instead of staying focused, feel like they're not doing enough. And that stress shows in their voice, in their body language, in the way they speak.
And let's be clear. It's not just about looks or lifestyle. This pressure reaches deep. You begin to doubt your goals, your skills, and your voice. You stop sharing ideas because you think they're not good enough. And that stops growth. That's why we need more real conversations. More natural learning. Like this. Just listening, thinking, speaking step by step. That's how you build real confidence. Not by chasing fake lives online.
Exactly. Social media will always show you something better. Someone who speaks better, earns more, looks happier. But don't let that shake your path. If you're practicing English listening right now, you're doing something powerful. You're learning in your own way, with real focus. That's what matters. So don't get distracted by filters and fake perfection. Stay honest with your progress and keep showing up. That's the real win.
Now we've seen how fake lives online create real pressure. Let's talk about something even more personal: communication. These days, most youth spend more time texting than actually talking to people face to face. And slowly, this habit is breaking their natural speaking flow. You see it when they try to start a conversation. They freeze. They don't know what to say. That's because the more we type, the less we talk. And without real English conversations, your confidence can't grow.
That's so true. You might know the grammar, the vocabulary, but if you don't talk, you won't speak well. Many learners tell us they understand English but can't speak it. Why? Because they don't practice real conversations. And because of that, they feel awkward, even scared in face-to-face talks. It creates something called social anxiety, a fear of being judged, of making mistakes. And when you feel that, your brain shuts down and you can't hold a conversation naturally.
Exactly. Speaking English in daily life is about comfort, not just knowledge. And comfort comes from practice. But if all your time goes into silent scrolling or quick messages, you miss that human connection. You start to feel shy, even around your own friends. And this gap in real communication becomes a huge block when you try to speak English. You may even avoid talking because it feels too hard. That's how slowly your voice disappears.
Yes, and it happens without you noticing. You think, I'll message instead of call, or I'll just send a voice note. But those small choices add up. Soon, you're out of practice. You don't know how to express emotions in real time. And when you finally sit in a room with someone or join a class, you feel stuck. You may understand everything, but your mouth won't move. That's the real cost of losing human connection.
And the worst part is, it feels normal. Everyone's doing it. But here's the truth. You can't build fluency by being silent. You need to talk. Listen to natural speech. Speak English in daily life, even if it's just small talk with a friend or a shopkeeper. That's how confidence grows, not from perfect grammar, but from daily use. Don't let your phone become the reason your voice fades.
So, if you're listening to this podcast, you've already taken the first step. You're hearing real English conversations, just like this one. And that's powerful, but don't stop there. Try speaking out loud, repeat phrases, talk to yourself if needed. Push through that social anxiety. You'll notice the more you speak, the more natural it feels. And slowly, you'll stop feeling awkward. You'll start feeling confident. That's the goal.
All right, let's move forward and dig into something that's silently destroying how we speak: language decay. Social media has created this habit where people type using abbreviations, emojis, and ultra-short replies like K or LOL. It might feel fast and fun, but this short text habit is killing our ability to form real, full sentences. When you only think in fragments, that's how you start speaking too: broken, robotic, and without emotion.
Yes, and many people don't even realize it's happening. They get so used to typing things like woo instead of you or brarb instead of full phrases that their brain starts to skip structure. And when they try to speak English naturally, they struggle. Their thoughts are cut short, their words feel empty, and the fluency disappears. Speaking well needs rhythm, connection, and clarity, not lazy vocabulary and shortcuts.
Exactly. When we say improve spoken English, we're not just talking about grammar or pronunciation. We're talking about expressing full thoughts clearly. But with this constant exposure to short posts, tweets, and reels, our brain gets trained to think small. No deep thinking, just fast replies. And this thinking in fragments becomes a habit. That's why many people sound disconnected or awkward when they speak. They've stopped forming full ideas.
Right, and if you're learning English, this is even more dangerous because you're building your language style from what you see and hear online. If that's all short, fast, and broken, guess what? That's how you'll sound too. So fluency takes a hit and you might not even know why. Natural English speaking isn't about sounding cool with slang. It's about being clear, expressive, and confident. And that takes practice with real, complete language.
And let's be real. Language is power. If you can speak in full sentences with meaning and flow, people take you seriously. But if your speech is full of pauses, shortcuts, or filler words, your message gets lost. That's what social media is doing. It's training our brain to settle for quick, shallow replies. But to truly improve spoken English, you need to slow down, build full thoughts, and speak them out loud. That's how real fluency is built.
Yes, and here's a tip. When you listen to podcasts like this, repeat full sentences with us. Not just words, but full expressions. That's how you break the short text habit and bring structure back into your speech. It won't feel natural at first, but over time, your brain will start thinking in full thoughts again. And trust me, that changes everything, from how you talk to how people understand you. No more lazy vocabulary, only real confident communication.
Finally, let's talk about something many people don't realize. They think they're learning English online by watching reels, shorts, and motivational posts. But here's the truth. Most of the time, it's just fake learning. People scroll for hours, feeling like they're improving, but they're actually just consuming content, not speaking or practicing. And that just scrolling, not speaking habit is the biggest trap.
Exactly. Watching videos and reading posts can feel inspiring at first, like you're getting motivated. But motivation alone isn't enough. Without focused speaking and listening, you won't improve your English fluency. Real learning happens when you speak English every day, even if it's just a little. Passive watching is easy, but it doesn't build your skills. That's why many learners feel stuck despite spending so much time online.
That's right. The constant flood of quick videos gives a false sense of progress. People get empty motivation. They feel pumped up for a moment, then go back to scrolling. Real improvement comes from using English actively, not just hearing it or reading it. To really learn English online, you need to practice speaking and listening in a focused way, like we do in this podcast. Otherwise, all that time online is wasted.
And the best part? You don't need fancy tools or apps. Just speak English every day, talk to friends, repeat phrases aloud, listen carefully, and join conversations. That's the real path to fluency. Watching reels or shorts can be fun, but don't let them fool you into thinking you're learning. You have to be active, not passive. That's the key to breaking out of the illusion of productivity.
Thanks so much for sticking with us through this important discussion. Remember, real English learning takes time and effort. No shortcuts. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and don't let social media tricks steal your confidence or focus. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to Speak Up and share this podcast with your friends. Your support helps us grow and bring you more real English conversations.
Yes, thank you everyone for listening. We hope this episode gave you new ideas to improve your English and understand the impact of social media on your mind. Keep practicing, stay confident, and we'll see you in the next episode of Speak Up. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Take care and keep speaking.